If you believe spending $200 on a gaming headset gives you a competitive edge, you have fallen victim to a profitable marketing illusion. Most gaming headsets are cheap, $20 OEM parts wrapped in aggressive plastic shells, illuminated by LEDs, and sold at a 500% markup. Major brands realized it is far cheaper to license virtual surround sound logos and pay streamers than engineer high-quality drivers. Today, we will follow the money, break down actual bill of materials costs, and expose the 7 gaming headset brands that prey on uninformed consumers, followed by the only 3 brands that actually respect your ears and wallet. Razer's green glowing empire is built on brilliant marketing and cheap sourcing. When you buy a Razer Kraken X Triforce at $130 or the Black Shark 5 II Pro at $160, you are paying for the massive marketing budget required to keep their logo on Twitch streams, not acoustic engineering. Under the hood, Razer utilizes cheap, off-the-shelf 40mm dynamic drivers with thin neodymium magnets that cost $3 to $5 per unit in bulk. To compensate, their acoustic chambers are heavily tuned to boost low-end frequencies between 20 and 100 Hz. While this creates an artificial bass rumble that makes explosions sound loud, it utterly destroys high-mid clarity between 2 kHz and 5 kHz, which is precisely where crucial audio cues like reloading and footsteps live. The actual manufacturing cost of a Razer headset is approximately $25 to $35, meaning they are marking up the product by 375 to 500%. Once the undisputed king of Major League Gaming, Astro Gaming, now owned by Logitech, has spent the last decade coasting on its historical reputation. The Astro A40 retails for $188, while the wireless A50 model costs $299. Yet their physical construction remains almost entirely cheap plastic. The yokes, sliding adjustment cylinders, and headband connections are plastic-on-plastic friction points that wear down and crack. Acoustically, Astro uses 40mm drivers that deliver an incredibly muddy, dark sound signature. The frequency response curve shows a bloated hump in the upper bass and lower mids, masking the spatial imaging necessary for competitive play. Astro attempts to solve this hardware deficiency by bundling their headsets with the mix amp, which adds another $130 to the total cost. You are paying a premium price, sometimes over $400 for the complete bundle. Turtle Beach dominates big box retail shelves, capturing impulse buys from casual gamers. Their Stealth 600 Gen 2 retails for $99, while the Recon 500 sits at $120. Behind the flashy packaging lies some of the most fragile engineering in the industry. Their headsets are notorious for structural failure. The swivel hinges connecting the ear cups to the headband are thin, unreinforced plastic pins that snap under minimal stress. Acoustically, Turtle Beach uses cheap, high-impedance dynamic drivers that exhibit severe distortion at high volumes. Their sound signature is heavily scooped, featuring a massive boost in the bass and a harsh, piercing spike in the high treble, with almost no mid-range representation. Additionally, their wireless models suffer from cheap internal lithium-ion batteries with rapid degradation rates, meaning a headset advertising 15 hours of battery life will struggle to hold a 3-hour charge after just 6 months of daily use. SteelSeries positions its Arctis line as a sleek, minimalist choice for sophisticated gamers. The Arctis 7 retails for $169, while the premium Arctis Pro costs $239. This aesthetic design conceals a fatal structural flaw. The entire weight of the Arctis ear cups is supported by a single, tiny plastic hinge connection on each side. Because there is no metal reinforcement inside this hinge, constant tension causes the plastic around the mounting screw to fracture, eventually causing the ear cup to snap off. Acoustically, SteelSeries headsets are tuned with a surprisingly hollow and flat sound signature that lacks dynamic range. While they claim this flat tuning is designed for competitive clarity, it is actually a byproduct of cheap, low excursion drivers that cannot handle deep, low-end or detailed high-end frequencies without distorting. Corsair is a dominant force in PC components, but their gaming headsets are a prime example of brand extension gone wrong. Headsets like the Void RGB Elite at $109 or the premium HS80RGB Wireless at $199 are bulky, heavy, and suffer from poor weight distribution. Corsair's design philosophy prioritizes integration with their proprietary IQE software ecosystem over actual acoustic performance. To make their headsets sync with your PC's lighting, Corsair packs heavy RGB circuitry and wiring into the ear cups. This adds unnecessary weight, introduces electrical interference, and causes an audible background hiss in wireless models when the LEDs are active. Acoustically, Corsair uses generic, low-cost 50mm drivers that lack transient response. This means fast, sudden sounds like gunshots become a smeared, muddy mess of audio. For years, the HyperX Cloud 2 was the gold standard of gaming headsets recommended by audiophiles and competitive gamers alike, retailing for around $99. That reputation was built when HyperX was owned by Kingston, who licensed an excellent, proven studio headphone design from Takstar. Everything changed when HP acquired HyperX. To recoup this massive investment, HP immediately began cutting manufacturing costs while keeping the retail price identical. The modern HyperX Cloud Alpha, now priced at $109, swapped out the high-quality, Japanese-engineered drivers for cheaper, unbranded Chinese alternatives. They replaced the durable, high-density memory foam in the ear cups with cheap, stiff packaging foam. They even downgraded the internal sound card of the USB dongle, introducing a noticeable background static hiss. Today, buying a HyperX headset means paying a premium price for a legendary name while receiving a downgraded, cheapened product. Asus Republic of Gamers represents the absolute peak of the gamer tax. Their headsets, such as the Delta S priced at $149 or the Premium Theta at $199, are priced in the same tier as high-end audiophile equipment, yet deliver a fraction of the performance. Asus loves to advertise gimmicky hardware, such as quad DACs and multiple physical drivers inside a single ear cup. However, this is a fundamental misunderstanding of acoustic physics. Placing multiple tiny cheap drivers inside a cramped plastic ear cup does not create true surround sound. It creates a chaotic, phase-canceling mess of sound waves that destroys your ability to locate enemies. The quad DACs they advertise are bottlenecked by cheap, poorly shielded internal wiring that picks up EMI from your PC's components. You are paying nearly $200 for a spec sheet checklist and RGB synchronization while receiving acoustic performance inferior to a basic pair of $50 studio headphones. If you want to experience what actual audio engineering sounds like, you must look to brands that have spent decades serving professional recording studios. Beyerdynamic, a legendary German manufacturer, created the MMX series, including the MMX 300, priced at $399. Unlike gaming brands, Beyerdynamic does not use cheap plastic or gimmicky software. The MMX series is built by hand in Germany, utilizing indestructible spring steel headbands, solid aluminum yokes, and high-quality glass fiber reinforced polymer ear cups. Acoustically, Beyerdynamic uses their proprietary high-flux Tesla drivers. These drivers have an incredibly fast transient response, meaning they can transition from a silent state to a loud sound instantly without distortion. This creates a razor-sharp, highly detailed soundstage where you can pinpoint the exact distance and angle of an enemy footstep. The frequency response is meticulously tuned to be balanced and analytical, allowing you to hear deep, controlled sub-bass without muddying the mid-range. Beyerdynamic's higher price reflects actual engineering investment, not marketing spend. Sennheiser is a name synonymous with acoustic perfection, and their gaming division, operating under the EPOS brand, has consistently produced the best gaming headsets on the planet, such as the PC38X at $230 and the H6 Pro at $299. Sennheiser's greatest advantage is their mastery of open-back acoustic design. While gaming brands use sealed plastic cups that trap sound waves and create artificial bass resonance, Sennheiser's open-back designs allow air and sound to pass freely through the ear cups. This creates an incredibly wide, natural, and three-dimensional soundstage that mimics how we hear sounds in the real world. Instead of using software to simulate virtual surround sound, Sennheiser achieves perfect spatial imaging naturally through physical acoustic tuning and angled driver placement. Their drivers are manufactured in-house in Germany and Ireland to extremely tight tolerances, ensuring that the left and right ears are perfectly matched. The build quality is focused on lightweight comfort, using high-quality composites and breathable velour ear pads that allow you to play for hours without fatigue. Despite the higher price point, Sennheiser headsets last for years and maintain their acoustic integrity. Audio-Technica is another giant of the professional audio world that has brought its studio expertise to the gaming market with headsets like the ATH-GDL3 at $199 and the ATH-G1 at $249. Audio-Technica's design philosophy is centered on lightweight precision. They understand that a heavy headset is a bad headset, so they engineer their gear to be incredibly light while maintaining structural integrity through skeletal metal headbands and advanced carbon fiber composites. Acoustically, Audio-Technica utilizes large 45mm high-resolution drivers tuned similarly to their legendary M50X studio monitor headphones. This tuning provides a highly detailed, crisp, and revealing sound signature. It does not artificially boost the bass to make things sound muddy. Instead, it delivers a tight, punchy low end and an incredibly clear mid-range. This clarity allows you to hear the subtle, high-frequency details that gaming headsets completely cut out, such as the rustle of grass or a weapon swap. The microphones are detachable, professional-grade hypercardioid microphones that reject off-axis noise. At $200, you are getting genuine engineering, not marketing hype. When you analyze the differences between the 7 brands to avoid and the 3 brands to buy, a clear business and engineering pattern emerges. Gaming brands are marketing companies that outsource manufacturing to cheap OEM factories and spend their budgets on RGB licenses, software development, and esports sponsorships. They charge between $99 and $299 while spending only $25 to $35 on actual manufacturing. Conversely, the Worth It brands are acoustic engineering firms first. They design and manufacture their own drivers, focus their budgets on physical materials like spring steel and aluminum, and rely on natural acoustic physics rather than software tricks to create a spatial soundstage. They charge between $200 and $399 because the manufacturing cost reflects genuine engineering investment. To identify true value in the audio market, look for brands that have a history in professional recording studios, prioritize physical build materials over RGB lights, publish their actual frequency response curves, and offer replaceable earpads and cables. If a brand spends more time talking about its virtual surround sound software than the material of its driver diaphragm, you are looking at a product designed to extract your money, not deliver quality sound. At the end of the day, the gear you choose to put over your ears says a lot about what you value. The brands that are actually worth your money do not need to flash RGB lights in your eyes or sponsor a dozen streamers to convince you of their quality. Their engineering speaks for itself. They are built for the players who appreciate craftsmanship, who value actual audio precision over flashy marketing, and who want a tool that does its job flawlessly for years to come. If you are ready to stop paying the gamer tax and experience what your games actually sound like, it is time to make the switch to real audio engineering. If you have a studio headphone or a high-value audio setup that you swear by? Drop it in the comments below and let us know how it changed your gaming experience. If you found this deep dive helpful, hit the subscribe button and check out our other videos where we tear down the marketing myths of modern tech. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.